Hello, ladies. Welcome in. It is so wonderful to be with you. We are talking about money blocks today. We're going to be covering why, when we fear men, we fear money. There is such a huge connection. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about. And if you are feeling capped at a certain amount, if you feel that you are struggling to make money, if you are struggling with your creativity or an idea for passive income, if you feel, Alexis, I do not have my dream income right now, this video is for you. I want to help you, and I truly believe that there is nothing that will enhance your feminine energy more than being financially secure. There is a whole new level of feminine energy, and why this is because the number one quality that allows feminine energy to come alive is safety. If you do not feel safe, whether it's in your body, whether it's in your home, whether it's with your finances, your feminine energy will always be capped. And why it's so important that I talk about money and business in relation to feminine energy is because if your income is capped, your creativity will always be capped. If your money or your income is capped, your ability to be polarizing will always be capped. And so the two are so connected, and I know money is such a taboo topic to talk about, but this is what I'm here to do. I think it's so polarizing to even connect the two. You have to be able to heal the blocks that you have with money, to release the blocks that you have with money, if you even want your ultimate, juicy, beautiful feminine energy to come alive. And that is my job, is to help you do that. So welcome in, ladies. I see you live in the chat, and I'll check in with you in just a bit. So you can tell by the title of this video that if you fear men, you fear money. That's going to be one of the three topics that we break down. I'm going to talk about three common blocks that I have seen in my own journey, that I have seen with my clients, with my students, and that I want to help you see, number one, and two, fix. So welcome in, everyone. And also, this is kind of a continuation of last week. Last week we had our live stream called, what was it called? How to Run Your Business Like a Feminine Queen. And we talked about your business being like artwork. When I say business, it doesn't mean an actual business that you are having products and selling them. It can be your songs if you are an artist. It can be your paintings if you are an artist. It can be your children and your family if you are a mother. So business is the term that I use for whatever your feminine energy creates and you manage. And also, welcome to everyone who joined all the business programs. There were so many new women in Divine and Aligned in the Glow Print. So I'm so excited for you to begin that inner work. And I think this video will even help you more. All right, 3 blocks stopping your income from doubling, from tripling, from quadrupling, from being so much that you look back and you think, the version of me a year ago would never think that I could have this income now. That is what I want you to be saying a year from now. Number 1, fearing men. If you fear men, you will fear money. Why this is there's 2 main reasons. I have a video where I started talking about the connection between men and money a while ago on YouTube. If you search that video, Men and Money, I'll also put it in the description for you. That video, please go and watch it immediately after this, because it will connect the dots for you so much better. If you fear men, there's most likely a wound of a breaking of trust with men. Whether it is a betrayal, let's say that you've ever been with a man who cheated. Let's say that you had a parent who was very abusive, or who didn't show up for you, or who abandoned you. Or maybe you just have never felt that it was safe to trust men. You don't know where the wound came from. You do not have to know in this video. But if you feel distrustful of men in any way, what is going to be happening is you will be subconsciously blocking all opportunities to make and hold a lot of money. Because in your mind, when you had the most normal experience of masculine energy, a father or a partner, when your father or your partner let you down, that role that was supposed to protect you, provide for you, create safety for you, that was broken. There became a wound around any masculine energy source that could do these 3. Well, the problem with money is that money is very similar to masculine energy in that it provides, it protects, and it gives you security. If your first experience with these relationships was wounded, you are going to subconsciously see money as a tool that will wound you in the same way. and you will do your best to run away from it because you do not want that wound to be opened up. This is why inner work, it is so important, because when you start doing inner work, things will come out that you didn't even realize, and you will say, oh, all of a sudden I'm able to speak my truth, stand up for myself. I can make money, I can hold money, I can just know myself so much better. These wounds from your past are causing you to have a blindfold on to things in your life right now. And money is a huge, huge, huge one. So if you are distrustful of masculine energy, here's another important key. You will be distrustful of your own masculine energy. The biggest misconception that we always talk about when women come to me and they want to build their feminine energy and connect to it, they always say, how can I get rid of my masculine energy? And I say, no, 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 no. That's going to keep your feminine energy out if we get rid of it. You have to enhance and strengthen and heal your relationship with your own masculine energy. Every single person, does not matter if you are a man or a woman, has both masculine and feminine. If you try to crush your masculine energy, or if your own masculine energy was crushed because of a masculine energy partner or parent, you will not trust yourself to create. You will not trust yourself to be disciplined or to have movement. What's so essential about money, and we'll talk about this as we get into the video, is to make money. And I'm not talking about just $3,000, $5,000 a month. I'm talking $10,000, $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month. That type of income, you must do two things. Number one, create from the feminine energy, which is what last week's video talked about. And you must create movement, which comes from your masculine energy. So you can see the problem. If your masculine energy is wounded, or if you subconsciously block out anything that can provide, protect, or give you security, you will have no problem creating. But when it comes time to the movement, that is where you will be blocked. The difference here is, okay, even in my own business, let's say for example, when I first started the Feminine Glow, my coaching business, I was making maybe $2,000 to $5,000 a month in the first few months. I had no problem creating. But when I started doing even deeper inner work on my own masculine energy, I started trusting myself even more. I started knowing when I make a promise to myself, I keep it. When I set my mind on something, I do it. That's what allowed my income to jump to then $10,000 a month. Then it kept increasing, $30,000, $50,000, had my first $100,000 month, and I thought, whoa, this is insane. I never even thought that that type of income would be possible. Any block, any cap that you have is most likely some sort of block that you have with masculine energy. And so with your own masculine energy, let's focus on this for a minute. When you think about, if you say, okay, I'm going to create a business, how long would it take for you to go from that idea to the business is created? If you take a minute to think about that, how long would that take? Would it take a year? Would it take maybe a couple months? Because I'll tell you what it will take for me and my students. Probably 1 to 2 days, 24 to 48 hours from when you get the idea to when you create the business. Why? Is because we have this huge block with time, and the deeper wounds we have with masculine energy, the more time we will need. Why this happens is because our nervous system is so scared. It remembers being betrayed in the past. It remembers being let down. It doesn't remember what masculine energy feels like at all, so it has no clue. So when your nervous system doesn't feel safe with masculine energy, it will stretch out how much time it takes you to do something, because it needs to slowly regulate itself and say, okay, let me think of an example. It's like swimming, for example. I did not learn to swim till I was like 12. I had a really scary near drowning experience, and I was very scared. So here's how I would swim. My younger siblings, I'm the oldest of 4, they would all be playing out in the pool. I would be hanging onto the edge of the pool for dear life, so jealous, like, I can't believe they're swimming before me. I just want to learn how to do this so badly. How I learned to swim is first getting in the water. That was slowly teaching my nervous system, okay, this is safe. Then I would hang on to the sides and I would move from the 3 feet to the 4 feet. Okay, nervous system, this is a little safer. We're slowly getting towards the goal of being able to swim. Then I would maybe get off the wall For a few seconds, I would swim and then get back to the wall, slowly stretching. So this example, this is what we do with money. This is why, even in my money course, it's about money in our work, but there's also quantum physics in there. Because in order to teach my students how to make a lot of money very quickly without sabotaging, I have to teach them how to go from this amount of time to this amount of time and to feel safe with it. The more safe you feel with masculine energy, the quicker you will be able to hold money, the quicker you will be able to move. Let me think of an example. Okay, in my business, maybe 2 years ago now, 2.5 years ago now, I decided I want to host a retreat. I had zero retreat experience, but I thought I love what I'm doing in the courses with my students. I want to do this on an island. I want to do this in a beautiful destination, and I want to meet them in person. Zoom is wonderful, but imagine in person. And so I got the idea. I went on TikTok. I searched the words retreat planner, found 2 women that I liked, interviewed them both. This was so quick. I got the idea the week of Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving morning, I don't know what I was doing on Thanksgiving morning. On Thanksgiving morning, I was meeting with a woman named Jamie, who, if you've been to one of my retreats, you know her. I met Jamie, fell in love with her, said, okay, let's do this. I've never hosted a retreat, but I want to host one in 3 months. She goes, it takes 6 months. I said, I want to do 3. She goes, okay. We had our first Glow Girls retreat in Hawaii. Jamie goes, I have never seen this possible. I have never seen, number one, that we can plan a retreat in this short of time, but also I've never seen a retreat sell out this quick. I posted the retreat, I think within 24 hours, it was sold out. I didn't even tell Jamie that I was selling it. She's like, you're supposed to talk to me before you put the price and sell it. I said, I'm sorry, but I move quickly. I did not used to move quickly like this. What has allowed me to move quickly is because I've healed my relationship with masculine energy so much where now I trust myself. When I get an idea, I move. I don't swim in hesitation. Rather, I don't drown in hesitation. I can feel my trauma coming back up. I don't drown in hesitation. I do not second guess myself, because over and over again, when I've had a thought and I act on it and I make a decision and I see how well it plays out, now I know next time, okay, when I get an idea, I'm just going to execute. I shorten the time between thinking and doing, and that shortens the time between my idea becoming reality. Let's talk about the actual inner work that I did though. So how did I feel safe trusting myself? How did I know how to execute? One thing that I did is when I started making promises to myself, I kept them. So during COVID is when I was doing all of my deep inner work, about 2020 to 2023. Every moment of free time that I had, I was reading a book, listening to a podcast, doing things that scared me, that stretched me. I was investing in my mind so much because I was tired of the life that I was living. I knew I don't want to work in marketing like I'm doing. I definitely don't want to be on Medicare like I am right now. I want to be able to just buy a piece of fruit without looking at the price. I want to be able to travel and see the world and not be afraid about having to appease certain people so that I can stay looking nice to them so that they continue to provide for me. I wanted financial independence so much. I wanted freedom in my voice and in my body so much. So I started doing inner work. And one thing that I did is every promise to myself, I kept it. So an example is I said, every day I will read a personal development book. It did not matter if I was tired. It did not matter if I had just had a long day at work. I found a way to keep that promise to myself, even if it meant that I was listening to an audiobook while I was brushing my teeth, while I was driving to work. Another promise to myself, this is a small one, but I still do it to this day, is I will work out at least 4 times a week. I will get in the gym, I will do a workout, I will move my body. I love my body, it's my honor to care for it. I promise myself I will move and work out. These promises, when you make them and you keep them, you're teaching your nervous system what we say we will do. Now, when it comes time to do something like start a business and you say, I'm going to start a business, your nervous system is going to be so trained on what I say I do that any hesitation, the LLC, I don't know how to do this. What if the idea is already out there? Your brain goes, we're not familiar with with swimming and hesitation, we are familiar with getting the idea and doing. This is why your masculine energy is so, so, so important. Because if you do not trust your masculine energy, you will not be able to do this. If you have other wounded masculine energy around you, you will also not be able to do this. This is the second inner work point. You must be so savage about cutting out wounded masculine energy. That was actually not the first thing that I did in my inner work journey, but the second major, major thing. The man that had caused me the most wounds, I ended that relationship. I said, you do not get to be a part of my life. I don't care how close we are. I do not care if we share the same blood. This boundary is going up. Because you have taught me over and over again, you do not treat me with respect or love. When you heal, maybe we can have a relationship again. But I made a promise to myself that I'm raising healthy, conscious kids. And in order to do this, I have to be secure in myself. I have to be healthy. I have to be healed. And unfortunately, you being a part of my life, I can't do both. So ending relationships with men who are not treating you with respect will grow your masculine energy like nothing else. Actually, maybe above that is your relationship with God, which we'll talk about too. You have to be so intentional about the people that you keep in your life. If you are with a partner who is not treating you, I heard this woman say this once, and I think it's so true. She was talking to a teenage girl. She was like 19 years old. And the older woman said to the teenage girl, she goes, is your boyfriend, is this relationship everything that you thought it would be? And the girl said to her, no. And the woman said, that's not your husband. And it is so true. Your partner, I just heard this quote too, if your partner is adding weight to you instead of wings, that is not your man. And he's adding weight to your income. You actually should be billing him. You should be sending him an invoice because he is costing you money. When you are spending all of your life force energy giving to a man who's not making you feel safe, being in a relationship that you know is not aligned, that is costing you money. Because no way will your feminine energy feel worthy enough to create. No way will your feminine energy feel that she respects herself enough to put her dream idea out there. Your voice will have a block in it because you're not speaking up even in your relationship. So how in the world could you create your dream business if you can't even say yes or no to your dream relationship? Your relationships are so important. The right relationship will give you wings. You will feel like the best version of yourself. You will feel new ideas come. It's almost like that feeling of the honeymoon phase, you know, when you're just on cloud 9, nothing in the world can stop you. You're just feeling so good. You're feeling so alive. That feeds your feminine energy, which feeds your $1 million business ideas. So you must have healthy relationships with masculine energy. The best way that I healed my relationship with masculine energy is by building my faith with God, with Christ. I have a podcast called The Fruitful Feminine, and I talk about faith and femininity together. I just did an episode last week called How to Feel Safe with God. It is probably the best episode that you can watch if you feel that you have a deep, deep masculine energy wound. I have the highest standard now with men in my life because of every morning when I'm reading the Bible and seeing what God says about me, reading about his character, reading about how much he loves me, how loving, how just he is, how creative, just how brilliant he is. My standard is so high because I have the best father in the world. So that relationship with my Heavenly Father has healed my wounded relationship with masculine energy. We did a video a couple of months ago. It's still one of my favorite videos that we've had together. And it's called, I wrote it down here, How to Nourish Your Masculine Energy. I will put this in the description for you too. If you're watching live, just give me about an hour and then I'll go ahead and update the description. How to Nourish Your Masculine Energy. It's the one with the knight in shining armor. If you know, you know. So that goes on to another point. If you're afraid of men, you'll be afraid of money. here's how to do this. You have to face your fear head on. And there's going to be two parts here. Number one is your own inner work that doesn't really involve men. And then number two, it is going to involve men. So facing a fear daily. I always tell you how every day I try to do one thing that scares me. It can be, so yesterday my friends and I, we went to go play paddle. It kind of scares me to play paddle because I'm not very good at it. It's kind of like tennis. But getting together with friends, organizing a time to play paddle, that's still scary for me because it's new. I talked about one time how I fell off a treadmill at a gym one time and I was so traumatized to run again. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna face this fear today. This is about 2 months ago now. And I was running on the treadmill. I felt so happy. Those kinds of actions build your self-trust so much, and they teach you, oh, even if I have the fear, it doesn't mean that I have to stop. You have to face it head on, and that will also teach your nervous system. It's scary, but we still do it. Guess what else is scary? Making lots of money. Your first instinct will be to give it away, to sabotage it. I talk about in my money course, the Gold Vault, how I did this weird thing with money. We all have upper limits on our income. Even look at your bank account. I guarantee you it's probably been around the same number for the last 6 months. So I had an upper limit. Anytime my income passed this upper limit, I would always give money away, spend it too much, move it to other accounts. It was the weirdest thing. And once I recognized that and started doing some inner work around money, I stopped doing that, and how much money I could hold, it grew. It's just like the rubber band concept. You stretch it and you can hold more. So facing your fears. There is nothing business related that I fear. Nothing at all. I was scared to start doing courses live. I did courses live. Also, anything that you fear, it's probably going to be the greatest experience on the other side. It was the best thing to start teaching Divine and Aligned. It's my business program. That was the first course that I taught live. To see the transformations in real time, to have that high afterwards. I think every session I remember just running down, I was living with my family at the time, just running down like, that was such an amazing session. I love the energy of the girls. This is what she did. And last week, this is how far they came. That excitement, your body knows that there's something on the other side that is going to blow you away. And also your body does not know the difference between nervousness and excitement, anxiety and excitement. And so sometimes it will categorize your excitement and your anticipation for something as nervousness and anxiety. And then we freeze when we feel anxious. You have to learn to push through even when you feel frozen. That's your masculine energy moving. That is you teaching yourself, I love and trust my masculine energy. My masculine energy has my back. Look at the way that it's moving, even when I'm scared. Okay, random exciting announcement. I have been waiting to tell you ladies this for so long. So many of you have guessed what this is already. And I thought there's no perfect time to announce it, so I'm just going to announce it today. So for the last year, you know how I've been telling you that I've been working on a project, and I promise this has to do with the video. I have written a book. And I am so excited. I'm not gonna say what the book is about just yet because I'm just in the editing and publishing process now. Last January, I knew that I wanted to write this book. And January passed, I didn't write it. February passed, I didn't write. March was halfway. I was like, okay, Alexis, come on. April comes, finally I start writing the book. And oh my gosh, this was the biggest fear that I had in the longest time. It was the one thing in my business that I thought I can do anything. I can host a course, scary, but I did it. And then I did it 4 more times after that. I can host a retreat, way scarier than a course, did it again and again. There was always this book that I wanted to write, and I was so scared. I thought, I'm not an author. Who am I to make this? How am I even going to know how to do it? And last April, I just sat down, 2025, I said, we're gonna do it. And it took me a year to write it. I just finished it in March. And I cannot wait to share it with you. It's like, it's my baby. It's my deepest, most raw and vulnerable artwork that I have ever made. And Yeah, I just cannot wait to share it with you. But it's probably going to take about 2 years, 1 to 2 years to actually publish. So that's a whole other story. But why I brought this up is because that was a fear that I faced, and it has grown my masculine energy so much. And you know, especially if you're in masculine or feminine energy, when your masculine energy is strong, your feminine energy is the strongest and most radiant that it will ever be. My ability to create, my ability to just speak, set boundaries, all of this, it's so different now. But now I feel the thing that I was the most scared to do, I did it. What is next? It's the best feeling. You just feel like, and I'm sure you've all felt this with something, you just feel I can do anything, and it boosts your confidence so much. But within that process, it was very difficult for me, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I did to kind of work with that masculine energy block. So writing the book, I opened up Google Drive. I opened up a Google document, and I thought, actually, that's what I was doing. I was just staring like that, and I thought, how am I going to write? Like, where do I start with the chapters, the outline? And it took me a little bit to get started. And then one day I did something, and I actually mentioned this on last week's live stream. I said, you know what? It's too hard to think about doing this, so I must remove the block that is making me think and hesitate. What I did is I took out my phone, I took out my laptop, had my book document set up, and I set a timer for 45 minutes. And I said, until this timer goes off, I'm not done typing. No touching my phone, no bathroom breaks unless it's an emergency. I am honoring this promise that for 45 minutes, every single day, 4 days a week, usually it was Monday through Thursday, I was writing the book. I'm writing my book. And it took about 1 year for me to write it. The only times that I took breaks was when I was traveling or with my family. Every day, Monday through Thursday. Timer, 45 minutes, I'm doing it. Then, I wish that I did this in the beginning, maybe last August, I realized I was still having a block with this. And that block is I would dread writing. And I love what I'm talking about. Like, it's something that I'm so passionate about, but still I would just dread it. And I'm like, what can I do to fix this dread? So I switched my routine and I said, I am not checking my emails. I am not going to do any live streams. I'm not going to do any work until I write my book first. And also my work for me, it is like, it doesn't feel like work, it feels like art. So if I cannot meet one of my clients for a coaching call until my book is done, I'm getting my book done. If I can't check into my course community groups and see what the ladies are sharing, hear their testimonials, if I don't get that reward, I'm gonna go write my book. So that book, I switched my routine to say, I promise I'm doing this first, everything else will come after. So you have to be disciplined with yourself. And the more disciplined you are with yourself, the more you'll trust your masculine energy, the more movements you will have, the easier it will be to make money. And what else did I want to say about this? Okay, I'm totally blanking here, but yeah, anyways, I have been dying to tell you all this for so long. It's the only secret that I've ever kept from you, but I said in the beginning, I'm not going to tell the girls just yet about the book because I have to see that I'm going to do it. If I announce it, it gives me this weird tension of my community will always be waiting, and I want to do this project in secret. I want to just be doing it on the side. Then when it's done, I'll tell them. You guys gave me motivation, so thank you so much. It took a lot of creative energy. That is why I did not host a retreat last year. I did not do anything because when I was done writing the book every day, it's like all of my feminine energy went into the book and I didn't have much left over. That's why Fridays I was live streaming and not writing the book because all my creative energy was going to the book. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I can't even read the comments right now because I will just get distracted, but I love you ladies so much. Thank you. Everything that I do, you encourage me. Every new version of me that comes alive, you hold me and support me and encourage me, and I'm really thankful for you. I'm so thankful that you choose to be here and watch my videos and share your inner work journey with me. I'm really, really honored. So thank you for cheering me on too. Okay, back on this note about fearing men. Let's talk about boundaries for a second. So if you fear men, you will fear stability, you will fear protectiveness, you will fear also receiving. That's the really hard part about this. So let's talk about receiving for a second. Here's how you can check how strong your masculine energy is right now. If I were to give you a compliment, if I were to say you have the most beautiful smile in the world, how would you respond? Would you say, thank you, you too? Or would you say, no, it's just because I'm wearing makeup today? Would you just smile and receive it? Thank you so much. How would you receive it? If you cannot receive it with a thank you or just feeling it in your body, there's most likely a masculine energy wound because you cannot hold receiving. Imagine you cannot hold a compliment and you're asking, why don't I have my dream income? That's the block. You must heal your ability to receive. And how do you do this? Like I said earlier, get rid of all the wounded masculine energy in your life. Be so savage with it. Like I said, if you are watching a TikTok video, this is actually what I still do to this day, and you see a man talking about cheating and how it's normal for him, swipe. Even better, go to the button and say, not interested in this content. What you see will become your beliefs, which becomes your experience in reality. This is even why in the Bible, God says, set your eyes on things above, not on things of this world. When the war was really chaotic here in Dubai, and I was constantly looking at the news, looking at social media, I could not create. I had to take that week off of YouTube. I even took a week off of writing the book because I was swimming in stress and anxiety and fear. Then I remembered, wait, God, you told me, set my mind on things above. Sometimes I would be getting ready to open up a news article and I would feel the Holy Spirit tell me, don't look. And the thing about the news, I was talking with a friend about this, and he was saying, Alexis, you cannot watch the news because guess what? Every time you refresh the news, it's already old news. There's new news coming out every 30 seconds. So what you're reading, it's already outdated. And so much of the news is not real. It's dramatic, it's exaggerated. Yes, information is good. Information with added drama to instill fear, that is what is going to block your creativity. And for me, my creativity was blocked because I looked at something that was engaging my fear and anxiety. So I have to say, I'm protecting my eyes. People would send me the news. I'm like, please don't send this to me. I'm not interested. I'm not looking. I'm very strict with what goes into my eyes. Even certain movies. There's certain movies that my friends will ask me to go see. For example, Wuthering Heights. I read the book Wuthering Heights years ago and I thought, nope, I'm not watching that movie. There's just something dark and heavy about it. I know when I would leave the movie theater, I would not be able to feel my best. I would not feel juicy and alive and excited. And so I told my friends, guys, enjoy the movie night, but I'm not gonna go. Versus the Saturday, my friends and I, we went to go see that new movie, You, Me, and Tuscany. It was so good. If you saw my Instagram story, it was such a lighthearted movie. It has Simon from Bridgerton in it. And it was just such a good, like, lighthearted chick flick. I'm very careful with what I put in my eyes and in my ears because also I have a responsibility of this community. If my energy is heavy, if I'm being filled with ideas of masculine energy, what's normal for it is to cheat, to betray, to wound women, how am I going to be a good leader for you? So actually it's my job to treat my eyes and my ears with so much respect because I truly respect and care about you. Same goes for you with your business. You must guard what becomes your normal with masculine energy. Even conversations. If you have friends who their relationships with masculine energy are not the best, not saying you have to cut those friends out, but be careful about letting those conversations sit in your subconscious. Invest in high quality mentors, invest in building a relationship with God, invest in good friends who have good relationships so that that becomes your norm. And don't be afraid to speak up. when you experience wounded masculine energy. I shared the example with you all. My friends are like, how do you know how to say this kind of stuff? Because I didn't before, and I regretted not doing it. I was going for a walk in my neighborhood a while ago, and there was a man that would always flirt with me. We would always talk, and sometimes I would just have a conversation with him, and he would always ask for my number, and I would say no. I knew this man was way older than me, and so he would ask for my number. I would always say no, and then one day I saw him walking with a woman, and I knew there was something strange about this experience because we made eye contact and he quickly looked away as if he didn't want to see me. And I thought, is this man married? So then I see him a little bit later. He tries to avoid me, and I say to him, are you married? And he goes, that's none of your business, starts getting really defensive. And I say, what makes you think that I would ever entertain you? And he started saying, you have no right, you don't know about this. And then he goes into, I was just being friendly. And I said, then why did you ask for my number? If you just wanted to be friendly, if you just wanted to be friends. And he left. It was so important for me that I spoke up, because times in the past where I would see those experiences and I didn't, I was so mad. Like, why was I so scared of that man getting upset? Why was I so scared of speaking up and letting a man know that it's not okay to treat your wife like that? That is not normal. And hopefully he's scared to ever do that in our neighborhood again. But those experiences where I set boundaries and speak up, they have taught me that number one, wounded masculine energy is not normal. Number two, set a boundary with it when it comes. And number three, you do not need to accept it as normal. So when you're in a relationship, if your partner disrespects you, speak up. If you're with a family member, even who disrespects you, speak up. One time I had a family member, we weren't close, but he was visiting my family. And he said something, he was being very rude over text. And I remember this is when I was first doing my inner work, like back in 2021, 2022. And he sent something pretty rude. And I said, if you speak to me like this again, I'm going to block your number. And then he started being very nice. I was shaking sending that text. I told my mom, I said, oh my gosh, I'm so scared that I even said this. But he was being so disrespectful. And she goes, I am so proud of you, Alexis. You never would have said something like this before. So you have to be polarizing. And I think that's what's so beautiful about feminine energy is when you heal it and you're swimming in it, your energy, it's very soft. It's very light. And then it can also be very polarizing, and sometimes that's very surprising. When I was teaching the magnetically polarizing course, the students would say, Alexis, I have never seen this version of you, and I love it. You can have multiple versions. You can have multiple identities. That is okay. So don't be afraid to lead with the polarizing. That side of your feminine energy will actually protect your masculine and say, okay, we do not let anyone break the shell and make us feel unsafe without speaking up or setting a boundary. Sometimes boundary is you physically moving away from that person or experience. Okay, so one quick note here is we had talked about receiving and how if you struggle with receiving, it's probably very difficult to make money. I want you to go back and figure out what was it that gave me a block in receiving. For me, for example, when I was receiving from masculine energy growing up, it always came with strings attached. Whether it was just money to get lunch, whether it was a gift that I received, there was always some sort of control or string attached to that gift or to that money. And so for me, I always was taught, and I cannot stand that this is what I was taught, but I'm so thankful for inner work to heal this, is that, Alexis, if you do not obey me, if you are not the good girl, if you are not pleasing to me, what I give to you will be taken. So my survival was always rooted in anxiety, because if I messed up, if I misbehaved, if I didn't please this person, my financial security was at risk. And as a kid, this means your physical and your emotional and your mental security is at risk. It's such a toxic behavior. That's why for me, financial security is so important. I will always have my own sort of financial income coming in, even if I'm fully provided for. I always have my own finances together, my own investments, because for me specifically, that wound of having my finances stripped from me, having my security stripped from me, I said, I will never let this happen again. And so all of the work to build my business and set aside my investments has given me a peace now where I feel no matter what, I will always be okay financially. Not that my trust is in money, my trust is always in God, but I've been very smart to steward the money that He has given. And the question that I get a lot is, can you still be with a man who provides? Absolutely. And the healthy masculine men, they will love providing for you, and they will also love that you have your own investments on the side. Sometimes they will even be investing into those investments for you. So you also don't need to be afraid of the providers. That's the healthy masculine energy. And to even receive that, you have to be able to heal the block of receiving. And so for me, it was slowly allowing myself to receive from men. Whether it was a gift in a relationship, like one time there was a partner that I had who they bought me my first really nice handbag. And that for me was so scary, to go into the store, to have the handbag, to thank him and feel like there were no strings attached. It was so scary for me. And I even told him, I said, I do have a fear that this will be used against me, that you might try to take it from me. And it was such a raw, vulnerable conversation with us because I didn't like telling him that I had that fear, but it was so beautiful to have that conversation, to share that vulnerability. And he said, I will never use this against you. I will never take it from you because you do something that I don't like. That's not normal, Alexis. Those sorts of experiences have healed for me my ability to receive. Even for myself, there's little things that I will do, like getting groceries, for example. My masculine energy, I have a schedule of when I get groceries, what groceries I get, because I know that I am able to receive that from myself. I'm able to receive the security of just having my meals in order, having my plan set out. I'm able to receive that from myself, so my feminine energy can just create. I'm not focused on what am I gonna have for lunch, what am I gonna have for dinner. My masculine energy's got it. And this is more of the inner work that we talk about in the video, How to Nourish Your Masculine Energy. I'll put it in the description. Last part here, fearing men. In order to not fear protectiveness, in order to not fear stability, in order to not fear receiving, you must regulate your nervous system. You must be out of fight or flight. We just did a video recently called How to Get Out of Survival Mode and Get Back into Your Body. If you search that on YouTube, Alexis, it'll come up. That inner work will reset your body to make your nervous system just relaxed. If you're moving very fast, if you are always anxious, if you're always thinking of your to-do list, if it's hard to sleep, you're probably in survival mode, and that video will be gold for you. Okay, so remember the formula to be able to make money, to double your income, triple it, quadruple it. The feminine plus the masculine equals a creation. The feminine is the art. We talked about in last week's video how to create, what was it called? How to run your business like a feminine queen. We talked about your business as your artwork. Your feminine side plus your masculine side, everything we just talked about. Your discipline, promises to yourself, your action, you creating movement, you facing fears. Feminine plus the masculine equals creation. Does this sound familiar? Think about even a baby being birthed. You need the feminine, you need the masculine in order for the baby to be created. Your business is your baby. Your artwork is your baby. Your dream family is your baby. Your YouTube channel is your baby. It's your artwork. You must be so secure in your feminine and masculine in order to do this. And that movement side, remember, it is so important. My very first 6-figure month, that took more movement than I ever made before, because I went from, okay, I want to start teaching about business. I want to create a business course. I'm talking about the same things with all of my clients, teaching them how to build their businesses, how to increase their income, how to heal these money blocks why don't I do this in a course? Because my coaching list is full. When I started creating the course and I could reach more women at a greater impact, my income always matched my impact. You need movement in order to create impact. You must say, okay, I'm scared to run with this idea, but I'm just gonna move. Your movement is so important. And I will say, sometimes it's not always physically moving, sometimes it's moving something around in your mind. There's a very simple click that when you realize, oh, let me just move this block out of the way, your income will change. Annie and I did something in the Feminine Glow where the income changed so much through just one simple idea. I didn't do any work for this, but one simple idea. We changed something around and it increased the income by about $50,000 for one of the months that we had. This is the kind of inner work that I teach you in my money program, the Gold Vault. It's all advanced money inner work and the quantum physics inner work so that you can move very, very quick. That was number one. We still have two more. Let me check it in the chat real quick. The other two are a lot shorter. I wanted the focus of this video to be how to release that fear of men so that you release the fear of money. I do not know what happened at the end of last week's live stream, but I was devastated. For 15 minutes, I'm just talking. The screen is frozen. I can always see the screen from my laptop here. The screen was frozen and I thought, oh, okay, maybe it's just my internet. Turns out the last 15 minutes of the live stream did not save. Ladies, I am so sorry. It just cut off in the middle of a sentence. But if you had some questions at the end, I'm gonna try to remember what those were and answer them now. There was one really, really good question that I will probably come back to. So I'm so sorry that it just cut off for you. Okay. Number one, fearing men is the block, capping your income. Number two, not treating your business like a job. And I know if you're in Divine and Aligned or the Glow Print, my business courses, you're like, Alexis, what do you mean? You told us don't treat your business like a job. Okay, I'm gonna phrase this a little bit differently. I'm not saying treat your business like a 9-to-5. I'm saying treat your business like a corporation that you have deadlines, you have results that you need to get, you have a way you need to dress, you have a way that you need to show up. I was taking my dog for a walk last week and I walk by and I see this guy that is holding out his phone and I'm just thinking, okay, maybe he's taking a selfie. I pass by him and I hear him talking to the camera and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe he was waiting for me to walk by so he could film. And then I walk for a little bit with Gus and then Gus and I come back and I see him filming, I see him just having lots of movement and I go up to him. He has the best style, like so chic, just beautiful, beautiful style. This bright blonde hair and just so cute, like freckles, everything. And I go up to him and I say, I love that you are out here filming content. I think you're so brave. And he goes, oh, thank you, because I'm so nervous. And I said, if this was your job, if you had a boss that was hiring you to create content, would you feel nervous? And he goes, no, not if it's my job. And I say, good, that's how you should create. I had the same block. Whenever I would record vlogs for YouTube, I told him I would feel so nervous. I would be in random countries just enjoying, eating pasta, and people are like, why is there a camera here? I told myself one day, if YouTube was my job, which it is, but I couldn't see it. If YouTube was my job and if I had a boss that was expecting me to get videos in by the end of the day, would I have any self-consciousness filming out in public? No. That's my job and I need to get my paycheck. That freed me so much. I remember the moment this happened. This was on my 25th birthday in Singapore. I was in my dream city. I'd always wanted to go there. And I was just so shy creating and vlogging. And I thought, what am I doing? Like, I get paid to make videos. I'm so grateful that this is my job. And I just dropped the self-consciousness. And so anyways, I'm talking with this guy about it. And I love content creators. Ladies, if you create content, I just love you. I think it's so brave. It's so artistic, so vulnerable. And he was telling me that he does these events and weddings and venues for big parties and events here in Dubai. And he said, I want to show my face more in the brand. Like, I want people to know who is behind the brand. He has a beautiful luxurious brand. And I said, you should. Because for me, when I want to book someone or I want to work with someone, I want to know who is the face behind the company. Because I see them, I see their radiance. Like, you can tell someone's values just by looking at the way that they speak and carry themselves. That's what people purchase. They're not purchasing your brand or your service, your coaching products, your clothing products. Think about people like Hailey Bieber or Kylie Jenner, who I think Kylie made a water electrolyte brand recently or something, and it sells out so quick. There's hundreds of thousands of electrolyte brands or shapewear brands or activewear brands. But what makes her special is people want to feel that sexiness, that boldness, that luxurious that Kylie Jenner carries. With Hailey Bieber, her skincare brand, I've never tried any of her skincare products, but people are obsessed with it. Not because it's the best skincare in the world, but because Hailey Bieber has the skin that people look and say, that's the best skin in the world. It's so smooth, it's so natural. That is why you should never focus on making your brand like someone else's. It will never work. People don't, if they wanted to shop that brand, they would shop from the original creator, not from the dupe. Your brand must be authentic to you. And there is a flavor that you have that no one else will have. For example, for the feminine glow, a lot of comments that I see is they say, Alexis, I love that you teach about feminine energy, but I can come and feel safe wearing a big t-shirt and baggy pants. You're not telling me I have to wear heels and red lipstick. You talk about your faith without any hesitation. I've never heard this when it comes to feminine energy. Every part of me, I talk a lot about holistic foods, vitamins, all these parts of me, they're truly parts that I love and am obsessed with and believe in, and they've become my brand. I talk about this in the Glow Print. It's my coaching program. When you are becoming a coach, you are the brand. You don't fit yourself into a niche. Rather, you show up and your niche will fit around you. It's so different from what the world teaches. So anyways, let's get back to this point. I just love talking about business content. If you had to boost your quarterly sales, what would you be doing? Like, would you be getting to work? Sometimes I'll tell myself this if I've just been slow, if I haven't been working out, I'll say, okay, if my wedding was tomorrow, would I be in shape for that wedding? I get in the gym very quick after that. If I have a deadline, if this is my income goal by the end of the quarter, which it's April, so in a couple weeks, am I at this income level that I wanted, this income goal? No. And here's the thing, it does not matter the timeline. That's why quantum physics is so important to making money. You set the goal first and the movement shortens the timeline. If I had a goal, let's say, okay, I want to get up to $100,000 by the end of April for this business. I wouldn't say, oh, it takes a year to make $100,000. It does for some people because they have decided that. But for me, I would say it's going to take 2 weeks. You decide your income. The world does not decide the timeline. Actually, the world will, but you have to say, am I going to accept this or am I going to choose something else? And guess what the world will set out as your income? The basic salary for a job. What doctors make in a whole year, that could be what you make in a month. And the work that doctors do, like, it's not about how hard you work, truly. The hardest work that you will ever do is on your inner work. It's removing those blocks in your mind. It's the muscles of your mind. It's the fearlessness of your mind to say it's scary to decide and create this, but I'm just going to do this. That is the hardest work that you'll have to do. It's not lifting anything. It's not even creating an LLC or building the website. It is in your mind first. So just make sure that you are setting goals as if your business is a job, as if it's a corporation. Dress the part. That's something for me that when I decide, okay, I'm going to be camera ready, I'm going to be coaching ready 4 days out of the week. That means I'm going to be sitting down to do my makeup. I'm going to have an outfit that if I get inspired to film a TikTok, I can feel confident to go on camera. I can feel just an extra boost of feminine energy. You must be ready. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And make sure that you're using your time well. I have very strong boundaries with my work schedule. And your boundaries should be so strong that people know your schedule. Like my family and friends know, okay, Alexis is not going to be on her phone in the morning because when she wakes up, her phone is on airplane mode until she is done getting ready for the gym, done reading her Bible. Probably she's in the car driving to the gym. That's the first time that she turns back on her phone. So my family, they already know, okay, she has her morning routine. And when she gets back, she gets ready and maybe I can talk to her then. But then during the workday, she's not available. She's with her clients, she's in the community groups for the courses. Your family and friends, if they don't know your schedule, you don't have one. Start treating your business with more respect, and your business will pay you generously. There's one more note that I forgot to mention about boundaries. So this goes back to the fearing men point when we're talking about boundaries and speaking up. Why it's so important to speak up, to speak your truth in your business, with your content, speak your truth in your relationships, is because it is your biggest block when you don't. Because when you say, I'm not going to speak up, I'm scared of men, I'm scared of masculine energy, I'm scared of being abandoned, I'm scared of not being picked, you know what you're telling your body and your feminine energy? Body, your desires, too much. Body, your expression, too much. Your self-respect, we don't have any. And what happens when you deny your desires, your expression, and your self-respect? Especially this point on respect. What does every single dating coach say men need the most from their partner? It's not love, it's respect. If you do not give yourself respect, if you do not give your business respect, it's not going to be a very good masculine energy partner for you. Your masculine energy needs your feminine energy to respect it. How does it respect it? Speaking up when you have something to say, getting out of bed when your alarm goes off. I'm not saying you have to do this every day, always be perfectly disciplined, but prioritize discipline. Treat your business with respect. Treat your body, your foods, your clothing, treat your routine with respect. When you treat your partner like your actual masculine energy partner with respect, the love he gives you will be so much. And the same with your business when it comes to your income. So we have number 1, fearing men will cap your income. Number 2, not treating your business like a job will cap your income. Not a 9 to 5. We're done with 9 to 5s. Treating it like a job. Number 3, when your life force energy is drained, your business and your income will always be blocked. I was listening to a podcast earlier today and it was talking about, what was the topic? It was something about holistic food and holistic nutrition. And the guest that was on it, he's the author of a book that just came out called Food Therapy. Let me see if I can find his name. What caught my attention was I saw him on TikTok and he was talking about how if you eat certain foods, it will trigger your nervous system, but you don't feel the trigger until 4 hours after the meal digests. And he goes, it's always super high carb, heavy meals. They do what he calls, they are a depressant at first, meaning that they ground you, they calm you down. That's why we always run to carbs when we're anxious. The carbs will be a depressant at first and calm you down, but 3 to 4 hours later, it will be a stimulant and it will spike your glucose levels. It will spike your adrenaline and you will be anxious. So he's talking about eating for how you want to feel, which you know I am obsessed with. I was looking for my body is my garden thermos, but I don't have it today. Okay, what is the name of, I think it's Luis Mojica. Food Therapy by Luis Mojica. So this started to get me thinking about something. He was talking about how he grew up really poor. He would use food stamps a lot and he worked at a health food store and he started helping homeless people around on the streets. He started helping them heal their sicknesses, healing their depression, healing their anxiety, healing their chronic inflammation with food, which I love. I could listen to this kind of stuff all day. So he's talking about how he would have all like hundreds of people in the community. None of them paid him, but he was just helping them play with different foods and herbs to help heal their body. And he said something about, it was, I've never heard this before. He said that your food trauma and your relationship with food, how it begins in the womb. It begins from when you're a baby. But he goes on to say that for a certain generation of children of immigrants, if your parents moved from a country because there was not a lot of food, there was a lot of poverty, and they wanted a better life, they wanted a better quality of life and more food security, and they moved to America, but then they get to America and the quality of food is so bad that it sends your body into survival mode and makes your body sick and inflamed. You move one place for food security, and that place you move to still has insecure food. And so then he goes on to say how processed foods were built really heavily, especially 50 years ago, because the industry wanted to make food accessible for people who didn't have a lot of money. And he goes, the processed food industry was not originally evil. Like, he goes, it's still not evil. But processed food, sadly, the result of it is there's no life force in it, which we always talk about, right? And so people were eating and consuming food with no life in it, but they came to America for a better life. And it got me thinking about something. When there's no life force in this food, you know how I always talk about if you eat an apple versus a bag of chips, that apple has energy in it. It has life in it. All food that God created has life in it. If you take the living organisms under a microscope and you look at it, you can see that there's movement. Versus a bag of chips, it's processed, there's no life in it. All the life is zapped out. When you look at those, and your food has no life force in it, the purpose of that food is just for surviving. What does this have to do with money? I promise there's a connection. So where your feminine energy is surviving, there's zero life force there. It's the bag of chips. It's the processed foods. Where you are surviving means where you are running, where you are just barely making it, where you are showing up and creating videos on TikTok because you have to. Not, I get to. Like, this is my art. This is my business. When you're creating out of survival, there's no life in it. And that means there's going to be very little money in it. Money is not this amazing thing that we should idolize and prioritize. Money is a tool, and it keeps us secure, it keeps us free, and it gives us a mode of serving the world even greater. When you have that security, and now you're eating the apple, now you are the apple, you're full of the life force, that is when what you create becomes the best, because you transfer your life force energy into what you are creating, and that gives someone else life. That is why last week's video is so important, because when we're talking about your feminine business as artwork, I'm talking about how if you, for some people, if you go and look at a painting, like remember that painting of the house with the teacup that I showed you, that gave me life. I saw that on Pinterest and I thought, I've never seen something like this before. You know how people say artwork just speaks to me? But you might look at the painting and go, what? All I see is a blob of colors. For some people, this is why your unique flavor is so important. You should not copy other people. You have to fully be your authentic self. When you are expressing your authentic self, it will speak to someone else because it is full of your life force energy, and other people can connect to it, and it inspires them. In last week's video, we were talking about how the best business creations always move other people. It inspires them to create. Whether it's create love, like you can see a picture of a loving couple on Pinterest and say, oh, I want to create this in my life. I want to create this deeper polarity in my relationship. You can see a woman with gorgeous style or really healthy, beautiful hair and say, I want to create better health in my hair. You showing up as the business, you showing up as the brand, fully juicy, alive, vibrant in your life force energy, meaning you're not in survival, you are at rest, you are connected to your desires, you're connected to your ideas. That is where you are going to create your best work. And always, when you create something that has impact, money will follow. Usually you're not even trying to make money, but it just comes as a result. And then money becomes very easy to make. It should not feel difficult to make money. It was easier to make $100,000 in a month than it was for me to make $1,600 in a month. It should feel very easy. So an example of this, actually no, a question first is, where is your feminine energy going to? And when I say feminine energy, where is your intuitive energy going to? Where is your emotional, where is your sensual energy going to? Is it going towards wondering, why is this person not texting me back? Is it going towards, oh, I can't believe that my parents treated me this way growing up, I have so many wounds, I'm such a victim? Is it going towards, that person, I wish that I was them, I'm comparing myself, I'm jealous? Is it going towards, oh, I messed up today, I didn't eat my healthy meal today, I didn't create today, I failed, I'm probably gonna fail every other day this week? Is that where your intuition, your sensuality, and your emotions are going to? Because that's like pouring liquid gold down the drain. All of your feminine energy, it is so powerful. It is such a gift that God gave us to be so intuitive, to be so creative, to literally carry life in our bodies. That is what is going to create your multi-million-dollar business. That is what is going to create your deepest, most powerful, most moving artwork. If your life force energy is blocked, you're going to be in survival and there's going to be zero life in what you create. When the war was really chaotic here in the United Arab Emirates, I told Annie, I said, I need time to just rest and to reset my nervous system. I tried to write my book, and this was a really hard thing for me. It's because I made that promise, but I'm actually so glad that we're talking about this. You know how earlier I said when I was writing my book, I made a promise. Every day, Monday through Thursday, I'm writing my book. I don't care what's going on. When the war happened here and it got really, really bad close to where I live, I always felt like this. I was always looking out the window. I was not sleeping good. I was crying a lot. When I went down to start writing my book, I had such a hard time writing, and I felt God say, Alexis, take a break. And I was like, but I'm so close. This entire year I haven't taken a break, minus traveling for a bit. I feel like I'm giving up if I take a break. And I felt God say, you will not create your best right now. You are not at your best right now, and your readers deserve better. And I thought, okay, close my laptop. No, but I did close my laptop for a couple days. And then the next week I finished the book. I had my last chapter. I kept telling my family and friends, I'm like, I'm on the last chapter for about a month. And so I felt so close, and I felt so disappointed for a second, like I'm not honoring my discipline or my promise. There are moments in your life where you must prioritize getting out of survival mode over being disciplined. So do not freak out or be mad at yourself if you are sabotaging your discipline. Your survival must be first. Remember Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We talk about this in Master Your Feminine Energy. Master Your Feminine Energy is probably one of the best foundational inner work programs that you can ever take. From A to Z, how can you have the tools to know how to get out of survival mode? How do you allow your feminine energy to come out? It is the #1 selling course that I have because it gives you the whole foundation of inner work, not just for the time that you're taking the program, but for the rest of your life. You have the tools to know how to remove blocks, face limiting beliefs, face fears, heal old wounds, set standards, set boundaries. You have this toolkit to make your feminine energy strong. Those tools I still use to this day. And so I talk about in there Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You cannot move up towards discipline, creation, self-love, juicy, polarizing energy. You cannot move up towards that until your physiological needs are met first. It will be doing things out of order. So that's also very important to add. Do not beat yourself up. There are times when a storm comes, you can't control it. But that is some of the best inner work you'll ever do, is being out of control and learning to sit with it. Definitely something I was working on this last 6 weeks. Okay, so how do you boost your life force energy? Oh, one more quick note. Why you must be out of survival and you must prioritize it, feeling safe first is because all of your life force energy will go into keeping yourself safe if you do not feel safe. So then what are you trying to create from? You're empty because all of your gas, your life force is going into feeling safe. Now you're like, why can't I create? I'm blocked. You need to get out of survival mode first. And again, we have the live stream called How to Get Out of Survival Mode and Get Back into Your Body. That will help you there. Okay, here's some inner work for how to boost your life force energy. Practice creating bursts of energy for yourself. Love this. This is what we're going to end with. So have something to look forward to. This is the easiest way to do it. I love what the Bible says. It says, hope deferred makes the heart sick. God tells us that we need to have hope about something. When we have hope and it keeps getting pushed back, and deferred, it makes our heart sick. He knows us so well, especially as women. You must have something to look forward to. It can be as small as I get to wake up and do my makeup today. That's something for me that I love. I feel like makeup is just artwork. Or it can be I get to go out on this date this weekend, or I get to just talk with my man tonight, or I get to look forward to experiencing love. Like maybe you're not in a relationship right now. Do you realize that you have not met the person who will give you the deepest amount of love, besides God, of course? But there is a partner out there that you haven't even met yet. There's a relationship that you haven't even tasted yet. You have to remember that these things are happening and give it as something to look forward to. Maybe it's you get to cook your meal. Tonight I'm meal prepping my soup for the week. I look forward to that so much. And it can be anything, like coming to YouTube. I was so excited at the gym this morning. Okay, what are we going to talk about? Can't wait to see the girls today. You must have something to look forward to. That's going to boost your life force energy. Also, you must eat to nourish your life force. And I meant to grab my maca powder, but it's okay. I'm going to do the feminine energy refresh and detox series. I'm going to bring that back in the next month, most likely. And I have this maca powder. I've been adding maca to my protein shakes and just, it's so delicious. I don't know why I stopped taking it, but maca root, it helps to boost your libido, helps to boost your energy, and it helps to balance your hormones. So when you're eating to nourish your body, you're eating to nourish your life force energy, you're going to feel very good inside. And when you feel good, it becomes so easy to create. When I feel heavy and I'm not at my best weight, I'm not eating my best meals, I'm not nourishing my body, my life force energy feels like this. I feel so tired. Versus now I had an amazing healthy breakfast. I've been eating super clean, just eating so many great nourishing meals in the last couple months. I feel light, I feel free, I feel energized. It is going to make the biggest difference in how you feel. I have so many videos titled What I Eat in a Day because I love the power of food as medicine. So please check those out if you need help. Like, what do I have for breakfast to feel good? What vitamins do I take to feel good and to feel alive? Healthy fats are great. Cacao is great. I love, you ladies know my hot cacao recipe. If you go to my Instagram, go to my story highlights under health. I have a lot of my recipes posted. Dark chocolate, cacao powder, cacao nibs, maca root. Sometimes just losing weight or gaining weight makes the biggest difference in how you feel. There have been times where I feel heavy and I realize I'm not at my best weight, especially in my luteal phase when my body's retaining a lot of water. I feel, oh, I can't wait till my period comes, or I need to get in the sauna because I feel heavy, like moving, dancing, it doesn't feel the same. And sometimes if you're not eating enough, actually no, all the times, if you're not eating enough to nourish your body, you're not gonna feel good. You punish your body when you malnourish it. You punish your body when you starve it. Your body deserves healthy foods. The times that I have struggled in my relationship with food and I wasn't eating enough, what helped me was writing in my journal. Is one of my affirmations today, which is why it's at the top of my mind. I would write in my gratitude journal every morning, I love my body. My body is so womanly. My body is so curvy. My body is so sexy. My body is so healthy. My body is so toned. And I see those words like womanly and curvy. And you know, the image that flashes across my mind, it's those sculptures in Europe where the women, they're so curvy. They're just womanly is the way that I can describe them. When that became my standard for how I want my body to be, I stopped fearing food. I stopped fearing not being super skinny, not being super thin. There's a really big trend right now of everyone being malnourished. Not everyone, but a lot of people being malnourished in Hollywood. And for some people, it's their natural body type to be really, really lean. My sister and I growing up, it was like this. And it doesn't feel good when people make fun of you for this. So some people, it is their natural body type. But if you feel that you are not eating enough, if you feel tired, if you feel scared of food, you're draining your life force energy and your body deserves better. It is your honor to nourish and love your body. Please, if you are struggling with this, I wish that I could send everyone this cup. We have the Feminine Glow merch on the merch site. My favorite cup, this is our best selling product. This is not me trying to sell anything, it's just genuinely what I want you to have. This cup right here. I designed it because for the longest time, I was punishing my body. I wasn't honoring and nourishing it. Now my body, it's my garden. So the body, it says, or the cup, the cup, it says, my body is my garden. It's my honor to love and nourish it. Have a physical representation of how you treat your body. Write it out in affirmations, journal it. This is going to boost your life force. And by the way, when you love feeling curvy, womanly, when you love just how you've nourished your body and how your body looks as a result, that confidence is like nothing else. To me, that is peak feminine energy, like physical wise. Okay, so yes, I know I said I'll be coming out with a feminine energy refresh and detox soon. Honestly, you know what I'm waiting for? This is so random. I'm waiting to cut my hair. Not cut it, but you see my ends, how they're just really damaged? I really just want to get a haircut. I'm talking about a lot of hair health in the video, so because my hair doesn't feel the healthiest, I'm waiting till I get a haircut, then I'll make the video. The reason why it's so hard is because for me, I have to straighten my hair to cut it. Otherwise, it'll be so uneven. It takes about 2 to 3 hours to straighten my hair, so I'm going to go and get it done. So you'll see me with straight hair very soon. Oh my gosh. Okay, now I'm reading the comments. Ladies, let's chat. What questions do you have? What's going on in life? Let's talk. Alexis, I found my Annie. I hired her last week and she has freed up my energy so much. Rebecca, first of all, so happy to see you and I'm so proud of you. That is a huge rubber band stretch to say, I get to have help. And you know what? I think that's the best thing that you can do for your masculine energy is ask for help. Say, we get to be supported. That's perfectly for this number one point about fearing men, fearing masculine energy, asking for help. That is a huge step to stop fearing that. And I'm so proud of you, girl. You freed up your energy, AKA you freed up your financial capacity. I'm so proud of you, and Annie is gonna love to hear this. My book is not fictional. However, I will say as soon as I finished writing this book, I felt, okay, I wanna write a fictional book. That'll be coming, I think, once I have kids later in life. Hey, God. Gus is reminding me I do have a kid. Hi, little one. I think once I have a publisher for the book, like once I'm starting to market it, I'll tell you all what the book is about, but you're gonna love it. It is everything that I love and am passionate about and believe in so strongly I've put in this book. It's one very, very specific topic. I'm not gonna say what it is just yet. Falling asleep to Alexis's voice at 5 a.m. I love you, girl. Get some good sleep. Do you want to say hi to your aunties? Do you want to say hi? He has grown so much, and he just had a bath yesterday, so he's extra cute. Do you want to say hi to your aunties? Say hi. He's being so good today. Oh, I'm rocking my baby while I watch this. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I've been wanting another business video so much, currently struggling with my mother wound in starting my business. Any tips? Oh my gosh, first of all, how beautiful. Like, total feminine energy to me. So I just did a TikTok video on mother wounds, and also I have a YouTube video on how to heal mother and father wounds. I totally recommend watching that if you haven't. What I will say is check the judge in your head. This is going to be so important, especially if you're starting a business. I was talking about on TikTok how most of my clients that have the harshest critic in their head, that have that voice telling them, you're not good enough. Oh, you're going to create that, everyone's going to laugh at you. That's too much to charge for your prices. If you have a critical voice, 99% of the time, the voice that is in your head is the voice that you heard growing up from your mother. This is such a strange pattern that I noticed with my clients. It wasn't until I saw the same thing again and again, all the times. My clients with the most pain with their moms always talked to themselves the harshest. And my relationship with my mom, it is very healthy. My mom spoke life into me. She was such an incredible mom. So the voice that I had in my head growing up, so good, so healthy. And so it took me a while to figure this out. What you have to do is you have to catch that thought in action. When you're criticizing yourself, when you're judging yourself, and you might feel, no, I don't do this. You cannot see it. It's so quiet and it's so subtle. You have to be extra conscious doing this inner work. When you stop yourself from executing an idea, ask yourself, what was a thought that was just whispered to you before you stopped yourself? And you have to imagine that there is this judge sitting in your head. This is what I tell my clients to do. There's this judge that's sitting in your head with the gavel. You have to say, you're fired. You do not get a spot right now in this seat. And you have to replace that with your loving adult version, and she is the one that is speaking life to your inner child. And so how you would speak to yourself is, so for example, let's say that I wanted to increase my price of my coaching, and I had a voice of, who would buy it from you then? Or who do you think you are to charge this much? I would imagine in my head, okay, excuse me, you're fired from that position. Was that thought good? The Bible talks about this so much. It says, take every thought captive and surrender it and make it obedient to Christ. If your thoughts do not align with the truth, you get rid of it. You surrender it. How you take it captive is being conscious of this. So every thought that stops you from taking action, you catch. And you say, is this thought what I want in my head? Is this how I would speak to my daughter? And I love that you have a baby. Is this how I would speak to my baby? If it is not, she gets the boot, okay? And you replace her with a new healthy judge, which is just the adult version of you. Everyone needs an Annie. How exciting. Annie is the best assistant that I could have ever asked for. And I was just telling someone this story this weekend. She's like, how did you meet Annie? And I said, Annie she emailed me the second week that I had moved to Dubai, so about 2 years ago. And she goes, hey Alexis, I'm a glow girl. I love your channel. I'm thinking of joining this course. By the way, there's a typo on your website. She wanted to join the Gold Vault, I believe. She's like, I know you're super busy. You probably didn't see this typo, but I just wanted to tell you that it's there. I was like, oh my gosh, I love you. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to have you in the course. Then she goes, by the way, I'm an executive assistant. If you ever need help, or if you're ever looking to hire someone, here's my resume. I was looking to hire someone. I had just did an interview. I didn't feel that it was a yes. So I just thought, okay, I guess I'll just wait till the next one, see who comes along. I met Annie. Before I even heard about her work, I felt our conversation. I saw her smile. We met on Zoom. I was still in an Airbnb trying to find an apartment. And I thought, she's hired. I love her. I trust her. I feel so safe with her. Why I didn't hire an assistant for the longest time is because if you've emailed Annie, every email we give our time to. If someone says, hey, I'm trying to figure out, should I join magnetically polarizing first, or should I join the glow print first? I would email that woman back and say, what is the block that you're facing right now? What is the goal that you want in your inner work journey right now? I wanted it to feel very personal. And my fear was that if I hire an assistant, it will treat you ladies like numbers, and that is not in alignment with my business. So I told Annie about my vision and how I run the business, and she has just been everything, like above and beyond. The way she takes care of the community on our app, the way that she, just for example, I have 5 course groups, and I try to answer all my students' questions and see them every week and check in with them. And Annie will go in and tell me, Alexis, you missed this, or this is really important. Look at this testimonial. This woman just did this in her business. You're going to want to see this. She's my eyes and ears so that my energy can be free to create. And yeah, I just love her. She cares about the feminine glow. She treats it with so much love. She gives her all. And I'm so lucky. Okay. Hey, bud. What if you are overeating? No cravings, just your mind finding food. Yep, I've so been here. Right now, food is an emotional comfort. That is what is going on. So what you're going to do, this is what I did, is 2 things. Number 1, when I would go, okay, here's my problem, is I would have a full dinner. I would eat really healthy during the day, but after dinner, I would want to start snacking. And that was not my best version of myself. I always felt low afterwards. And I wasn't even hungry. I would just want to eat. Number 1, why do I do this? Okay, because when I was feeling unsafe as a kid, this is what I did. When my home felt unsafe, my mom would take us to get Taco Bell, or she would give us snacks to make peace in the house and distract my siblings and I. And so for me, I saw, okay, that's where my emotional attachment to food came from. So number 1, find out the root of that. Master Your Feminine Energy is great for things like this. Anything that you feel blocked with, it will give you the tools and the blueprint for how to do this inner work. Next, what I did is I had to catch myself in the action and sit in the discomfort. This is the hardest step, but it is so possible and it is so freeing. So when I'm sitting on the couch and I get the urge, okay, I want to go eat some chips, or I want to go eat some chocolate, I would sit and say, am I hungry? If the answer is yes, maybe I'll go and get a snack. But if the answer is no, and you have to be so honest with yourself, say, I'm trying to soothe something right now. Step 3, replace it with another habit. So for me, it's going for a walk. Okay, I know that I want to overeat. I'm going to go for a walk. You change the response to the trigger. So now if I feel, for me, what's so funny is when I was sad or stressed, well, sometimes with stress, I would want to snack. But when I was not feeling happy, I would have no appetite. It's when I was feeling happy that I would have an appetite. I'm like, what is going on? I still don't know why that is. I haven't thought to do the inner work there, but I realized, okay, I know that if I am feeling really good, I want to maybe keep that feeling going. So I will go and snack. I've replaced that habit with walking. Number 2 is fasting and praying has changed my relationship with food. I talk about this on the podcast, The Fruitful Feminine. I have a whole episode just on fasting. The first time I fasted for a whole day, no food, I only drank water, and the times that I would normally eat, I would pray with God instead. Anytime I need clarity, anytime I'm stuck in life or I just want to feel God closer, I fast and pray. It has been the most life-changing thing. For about 1.5 years, I've been doing this once a month. And that changed my relationship with food, even more than the inner work that I was just talking about. Because for a whole day, when I say, I'm not eating food, I'm just going to drink water. If I feel anxious about something, I don't have chips to run to. If I feel overly happy or if I feel stressed, I have to go to God. I don't have any other choice. And when food is stripped as a tool to soothe my emotions, when I am eating food regularly, it no longer hits the same as a tool to soothe. I think, oh, it's just food. I stopped fearing food. Growing up in the modeling industry, I feared food so much because I had to stay certain measurements, otherwise I wouldn't book jobs. one of the first comments the day that I signed a contract with my first modeling agency, they said, your waist, great, but your hips, maybe try Pilates, maybe don't do any strength training. I was 17 years old, 16, 17 years old. And a seed was planted in my mind, you're not small enough. And so I feared food, and I started developing an even worse relationship with it. And I would binge eat, and I would I would restrict, and I would fear food. Now, I love food. I see it as a tool. I see it as medicine. And because I don't restrict anymore, because I've learned this is punishing my body by starving it. And because I don't overeat now, because it's no longer a tool to soothe my emotions, I run to God when I feel my emotions are high. And by the way, that is the best thing. That is the only way that I survived these last 6 weeks in the UAE with the war that was going on. That has made food neutral for me. Now I love food. If I want French fries, I will get French fries. If I want to eat super clean, I eat super clean because I think I'm loving my body, I'm nourishing it. So I know this is a really long answer to your question. This is something I'm very passionate about because it's very vulnerable for me, very close to me. And I hope that this helps you. The 45-minute timer for my project changed everything. Thank you. I am so happy to hear you, girl. That timer is your masculine energy best friend. I joined Divine and Aligned. Can't wait to get started. Tess! Oh my gosh, Tess. By the way, Tess, I saw your comment on the last live stream and then the stream ended. I was like, at least I got to see Tess today. I am so excited for you. I'm so excited to see you in the community group. Say hi to the girls, introduce yourself. I'm so proud of you. Amen, fasting and praying. Oh my gosh, yeah, I don't have words. It has changed me. Like the word that everyone said last year, when I would meet strangers, when I would see my friends, like even when I went back home to the US, my friends would say, Alexis, you're so calm. And I would say, what has made me calm? It's my relationship with God that has grown so much. I was talking with a woman yesterday. She's dating a man who's Christian and she's not Christian. And I was just talking with her about it, and I said, just talk to me. Like, are you curious about the faith? Do you want to know? She goes, I am, but I'm just scared that it's strict, that I'll have to change who I am. And I just told her, I think it's beautiful that you're curious. And I told her the reason why I'm so passionate about my faith, why I say that my relationship with God is the most important part of my life, is because Jesus has saved my life. He has saved my soul. My deepest points of suffering, He has met me there. The Bible says when you run to Jesus, when you seek Jesus, He will always answer. It is impossible to seek God and He doesn't answer you. He doesn't show up for you. And I said, just seek Him if you're curious. No pressure, but just go to God. Maybe start praying, start talking with Him. I sent her my podcast. She listened to it this morning. She goes, I love it. I didn't know that you can feel safe with God. I thought that it's scary, that you have to follow all of these rules. And I said, Jesus didn't come to bring religion. He came to bring a relationship with God. It has given me so much peace. Like, of course I was scared during many parts of this war, but I told my family and friends back home, I have peace that makes no sense, and I have joy that makes no sense. I don't know how I am feeling at peace and happy, even with everything going on. There was a week that was rougher for me, but after that I felt, you know what, I can go to bed and sleep. My neighbors are like, Alexis, how are you sleeping at night? Like, how did you not come down to the parking garage with us when everything happened? And I said, I don't know, I just opened Psalm 91. I prayed, God, please protect my home. And I went back to sleep. I think He's the best masculine energy comfort. And yeah, I feel so safe. I feel safe emotionally and spiritually with that relationship. Yes. Oh my gosh, Tess, thank you so much. It's the book. I've been waiting to share it. I was going to share it in March, but then I thought, okay, let me wait till maybe things with the war calms down. I just want to announce it when I'm feeling at peace. And I cannot wait to release it and for you to read it. Hello from Switzerland. Ah! Yep, gluttony, yes. And it's crazy how gluttony is a sin. God tells us, do not use food to overindulge. And I think if God is telling us not to do something, there's some truth in it that he can see that we can't. Anytime that I would overindulge, I would feel like all the pleasure is just stripped from me. I would feel heavy and low. And I think God is so ahead of even science, because now science is talking about how when you overeat, your body cannot digest the food and your nervous system goes into shock, and then your body goes into survival. So there's so many things that I'm just thinking, God, whatever you say, I know that there's a reason. Excuse me. Gentle parenting. Excuse me. All right, we're gonna have to try medium parenting. No biting. Thank you. So Gus, his baby teeth never fell out. They're out now because we had to get them pulled. Felt so bad. But he was looking like a baby for the longest time because he had all his little baby teeth, and then his adult teeth were growing on top of it. I thought it was so cute. But he got them pulled when he was neutered. Oh, I hate taking him to the vet when he gets shots. He got a vaccine recently, and I told the vet, I said, I'm sorry, but I might need to leave the room. Like, I cannot stand seeing him hurt. And the vet was like, nope, I'll show you a way to feel okay with this. I was like, okay. We love masculine energy, right? And the vet, he gave me a little treat, and he goes, okay, hold it, and I'm gonna put the needle in his leg, and when I nod, I want you to give him the you know what. If I say the word, he's gonna get too happy. And so the vet, he gave Gus the needle, and I gave him the you know what. He didn't even cry. He was just eating it. He was so good. I'm so proud of you, bud. But I told my mom, I said, I cannot imagine having kids and seeing them get shot, seeing them hurt. I feel like I'm not gonna be able to be strong for them. My mom goes, no, you will when it's your baby, but it is tough to see. The way I just threw the packet of snacks and drank water. The way that your life force energy is gonna be happy. Snacks are not bad. I think it's overeating. I think too much of anything is never good. Any retreat coming soon? The crazy thing is, now that I've finished the book, I'm just editing it a little bit more. I told Jamie, my retreat planner, I'm like, I want to get another retreat going. I don't have a date just yet. I want to do something a little bit different for the retreats. I'm really trying to find a way to make it the best price that it can be, because it was, I know that when you ladies are coming to the retreat, you're paying for the flights, you're paying for the retreat itself. If we do another destination like Dubai or Greece, I want to make the ticket price as best as it can be for you. So I'm trying to think, how can we do this even better? I'm trying to find a location that's going to be the best. Because also when I did the VIP spots for the retreat for Greece, it was so much fun to have a few of the girls stay in the villa. And I would love everyone to stay in the villa. So I'm working on it, but I do not have a date set just yet. If I say like, yes, I'm going to do a retreat this year, I've noticed it locks me into this energy of pressure, and I have to do this now because I said it. So I'm just not going to announce it until I have it fully set. Yep. Gluttony also applies to watching movies and series and scrolling. Yep, totally. In the episode that I did on fasting, on the Fruitful Feminine, I said that when you fast, you starve your flesh and you fill your spirit. But when you overfill your flesh, you starve your spirit. And it's not starving as in like an eating disorder starving. It's I'm depriving my body of comfort. I'm depriving my body of pleasure so that I can it resets your dopamine level so much. There's a book I'm reading called Eat Like a Girl by Dr. Mindy Pelz, and she's talking about how when you fast for 48 hours, it resets the dopamine levels in your brain. When you strip your pleasure, it resets your baseline for happiness. It is the craziest thing. If you feel that you cannot enjoy a simple conversation with a friend, you can't enjoy getting up and getting ready for work or getting dressed up, your dopamine is probably way dysregulated and your baseline is all the way up here when it's supposed to be here because of overeating, over scrolling, overindulging, no discipline. Now it takes this amount of dopamine for you to feel anything. Fasting resets your dopamine to be here because you're starving the flesh, you're resetting everything. When your flesh is not so full of food, I don't do any social media, I don't watch TV, I don't even text a lot, nothing media related. Also when I fast, I'm completely starving my flesh, no pleasure from the world. Well, when my flesh is empty, I feel God so closely. Like I can feel him speaking to me. My emotions come out so easily because my spirit is full. If your flesh is too full, your spirit will be empty. And that is why we feel low, we feel directionless, we feel I can't feel God, I can't hear my deepest desires, I can't heal this block, I can't cry. The flesh is too full. So that episode, even if you are not Christian, I make the podcast in a way where it is like inner work medicine. So you can give that one a listen if this is interesting to you. And by the way, every single person is welcome. I have women who are Muslim who listen to the podcast, women who are spiritual. So it's never just about if you're Christian, you can listen. Everybody can listen. Oh, ladies, I love you. Love your comments, love your questions, your energy. Thank you, ladies, for the good vibes and good conversation. You may not know this if this is your first video, but we have the Feminine Glow app. And within the Feminine Glow app, you can do the courses so easily. It's so much easier than going onto your Safari browser and trying to take the course. Get the Feminine Glow app because you can do the courses easier. You can join the Glow Girl chat. There's about 7,000 of us women. It's just women from here, from TikTok, and the ladies inside, they're just sharing about their inner work. They're sharing questions, they're answering each other's questions, posting pictures about what they're doing in their inner work journey, boundaries they're setting, relationship standards, all of this. There's meetups that are happening. Like, I love you ladies. When you meet up with each other and you post a picture and show me, it makes my day. We had a Switzerland meetup, we had a Paris meetup. So go to the Feminine Glow on the App Store if you want this community of the live chat, but if you want it all the time, we've got it there. Let's go to Mexico. Ooh, I actually was considering Mexico because I thought, what a great price for what we could get. Like, I make the retreat so luxurious, so like we have chefs. We did a yacht. We have just so much luxury because I want you to be queens. I want you to be treated like queens. I want you to embody your peak feminine energy when you come to the retreat. I just want you to step into a new identity. And I'm thinking, how can I make this the best price for them? Still make a profit too. I don't make a ton of profits from the retreat because the villas alone are a lot. The cost to make a retreat, I think a lot of people don't know this, it costs a lot of money, around $60,000 to host a retreat. So I'm trying to think, how can I still be able to make a profit too? There's so much time and energy that goes into it and not feel drained, but also make the price great for you. Vietnam, yup. Yeah, I love hearing your ideas. Please share where you would like to go. Alexis, is it okay if I start off with the Gold Vault course at once? Absolutely, Trudy. Trudy, I know you've been here for a while too. The Gold Vault would be exceptional for you. So that's the money inner work. You can start off with any course you want. You do not have to start off with masculine energy. When you have a desire for an identity switch that you want to turn on, that is when you join the course. So for example, if you say, I'm blocked with money, I'm making a good amount, but I want to make crazy amounts. I want to be so financially secure that I can spend money and not ever look at my bank account again. I want to be able to travel, to have multiple houses around the world. That type of money energy is gold vault energy. If you're thinking, I'm blocked from letting my good girl mask down, I feel like I'm always trying to please others, I'm not able to set relationship standards, I'm not treated like a queen in my relationships, I'm attracting men who I'm chasing, magnetically polarizing. So take a look at the courses, at the descriptions, take a look at the testimonials that the girls are saying from the courses. That will give you an idea for what type of identity switch you will have in them. And always you can email Annie and I if you're thinking, I'm stuck between two, or I just don't know which one. But they'll be there for you. I've got lots of inner work on YouTube too. He's sleeping. Oh my gosh. He has brought out my mother archetype, and I love it. My friends, this weekend we were talking about just parenting and all of this. One of my friends is trying to have a baby right now with her husband, and one of my friends goes, Alexis is strict. She's gonna be a strict mom. I was like, that's right. I discipline Gus because I love him so much. When he comes over, I'm very strict. Like, Gus, don't jump, don't bite. Because my mom was so good at this. My mom was very strict, by the way. My mom was disciplined because she loved us so much. And I just watched the way that she was with my siblings, watched the way she was with me, with our family dog. My family's dog, Oliver, he's everything. He's on my Instagram. The picture where I'm on the boat, and I'm holding a dog, that's Oliver. He's the best behaved dog in the world because my mom was strict with him. And so my friends see me, I'm very strict with Gus, and I'm like, I have to be because I love him so much. And also I think discipline, it's so good for animals. He also has to be disciplined here because since this is it's a part of the world where there's a lot of people who are Muslim who are not familiar with, no barking, who are not familiar with dogs. For a lot of people who are Muslim, they're not allowed to have dogs as a part of the religion. And so being around dogs, sometimes they're very scared of them. Totally get it. I actually was very scared of dogs when I was a kid. And so I trained Gus too out of respect for the community here, because if he's jumping all over the kids, if he's running, pulling on the leash, that's probably going to make the people around me anxious on the walks. But the kids love him. Like, oh my gosh, it's the cutest thing when the kids come up and they're, sometimes we don't even speak the same language, but they go like this to pet him, and I just say yes, and they're so gentle, they're so sweet, and I think, oh, this is so cute. I couldn't really interact with the kids before I got Gus because that would just be a little strange. He's sleepy today. Yeah, I always play with him before the live stream so that he sleeps. Oh my gosh. My friend Mel and I met in a coaching group, and she's a glow girl too. We've been blocked on starting our podcast. Do you have any advice for us to get into it? We're struggling to hold. What a small world. I love this. It's so cool. So we've been blocked on starting our podcast. Do you want to tell me a little bit about what the podcast is about? This is so exciting for you guys. What would I say here? Okay. For you guys, it's so great that you have each other to do this. What I would say is pick a day this month. It's April 13th. So before the end of April, pick a day where you guys will film. Rain or sun, you guys will film. I want you both to pick a space that feels so beautiful, where you could sit down, you feel the lighting is good, you feel the aesthetic, the background is good. You're both wearing an outfit that makes you feel so beautiful, so confident. What you're going to do is you're going to pick that day, pick the place, you're going to get physically ready. And then for about an hour before you're actually filming, I want you guys just to chat. There's something about feminine chatter. Even I do this in my retreats, because when I'm nervous on day one about to go and meet and speak with the women, I chat a lot with Jamie. my retreat planner the day before, because feminine chatter releases nerves. So when you guys are chatting, just get out the nerves, and I want you to just be as relaxed in your body as possible. Turn on some music, dance, shake your body out, really use those somatic practices. Then when you sit down and film, here is the key, okay? No do-overs. When you hit record, you go. If you mess up, that's okay. You can make edits here and there, but there's something about just doing it live that changes and lightens your energy. And for both of you, when you know, okay, we're just gonna go for it. Like if there's a live crowd listening to our podcast, how would we show up? The people who listen, they will feel that. And it feels so much more authentic and so much more free. That's why I do a lot more live streams than sit down videos. Even with my podcast, when I can film it all in one take, oh my gosh, it frees up my energy. So you've now loosened up your body, you've done the feminine chatter, you've picked a place, you've decided that decision is your masculine energy saying go. Then you just bring the feminine, you bring your creativity, make it a light topic, make it easy, and also drop all future plans. What's maybe blocking you guys from getting started is thinking, what do we do if we don't get a lot of views? Or what if we do if there's a schedule conflict in the future? No future planning. What is the next step that you will take? The next step is you're going to film this next episode. Then after that, you plan the next one and the next one. I hope that this helps. And post it in the Glow Girls chat, okay? We want to see and share your podcast on. Yes, I love this. Oh my goodness. Slow motion is better than no motion. That might be one of my favorite things I've heard all day. Yep. Absolutely beautiful. All right, ladies, I'm gonna run and nourish my body with some sardines now. You know, you know. You know that some sardines will be in the next feminine energy refresh and detox. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you for your questions, for just your encouragement and your support with the book. And thank you always for just being here and being a part of this community, sharing it with your family and your friends. I love being with you. I love being your coach. I'm so grateful to be your coach. And always let me know what videos that you'd like to see. I love reading your comments. Let me know what inner work transformations you're going through, what new boundaries you're setting, how this helps you. It helps me know what to create for you. I love you so much, and I cannot wait to see you in the next week. So practice securing that masculine energy, and make sure to check the description for the videos that I'm going to link, because all of them with this video will blend together so beautifully. So I love you so much.